Man, what a night of boxing. That Tszyu versus Fundora card was such a great card that I actually have to go over the whole entire card. Now, when I say a whole entire card, I'm going to start with the Erislandy Lara card because I didn't actually see the first part of the card. See, I'm going to tell you something. PBC was messing up, bro. PBC was messing up. You had Moten fighting, right? I didn't get to see Moten until the 8th round, so I'm not going to break down that fight if I only see the 8th round. At that point, the fight was over. I did see the Brian Mendoza fight, and boy, let me tell you, that man got a chin on him, bruh. Brian Mendoza has a chin. I don't know what his chin is made out of, but he has a chin. The amount of punches that he was able to take and withstand and never managed to get dropped is crazy, bro. He took a lot of punches. He took a lot of uppercuts, took a lot of hooks. That man has a chin, bro. But y'all already know what I gotta go over, bro. If you've been tuned in to the channel, or if you've been subbed to the channel and you just look at the banner on my YouTube page, you know who I gotta talk about, bro. The GOAT himself, Erislandy Lara, bro. Like, bro, is it me? But ever since Erislandy Lara adapted his style and he isn't as mobile as he used to be, he been knocking dudes out. His last 3 fights was all knockouts. This fight, knockout. I mean, he was just waiting on a jab. He slipped it. Hung. It was over, bro. Like, bro, this man is 41 years old, bro. He's about to be 41 this month, and he is knocking dudes out. He knocked out Gary O'Sullivan, and then he knocked out this other dude. I think that fight was in 2021. He knocked him out in like 2 rounds, bro. He's been knocking dudes out. I don't know where this power. I mean, of course, Lara always had power, but we never known Lara to knock dudes out like this. Like, he's putting these dudes to sleep. I'm talking about sleep, bro. Like, man, like, when you talk about Erislandy Lara, it's just like, you talk about somebody that has been robbed a lot in his career. Like, the man has skill. He's 33-3, bro. You can make an argument that he should really only have lost maybe 1 of those fights, right? And that fight was the Jarrett Hurd fight, and he lost that fight because he got dropped. It's the same thing with Sean Porter whenever he fought Errol Spence. The knockdown was the game changer in that fight. That's the exact same thing happened to Lara. I think he got dropped. I want to say, I know he got dropped in like the second half of the fight. It was close to the end of the fight, and he got dropped or whatever, and that pretty much changed the whole course of the fight. But even then, it was still a split loss. The 3 fights he lost was Tszyu, that was a split loss. Jarrett Hurd, that was a split loss. And the most abysmal loss of them all was Paul Williams. If any of y'all seen that fight, you know Erislandy Lara should have not lost that fight. And it still pisses me off to this day that he lost that fight. But we're not going to get into that. We're going to move along. The most disappointing fight of them all. I know some of y'all are going to troll and say there's no way you thought Rolly was going to beat Isaac Cruz. I actually did. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a stand on business. I actually thought Rolly was going to win, but he wasn't boxing bad though. Rolly wasn't boxing bad. He looked a lot better in terms of actually using footwork. Like, he's pivoting, you know, like, he wasn't, bro, he was using the stab jab. I thought the stab jab was actually phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie to you. He wasn't boxing bad, bro. Is it me? Am I bugging? But Rolly wasn't boxing bad at all. But we also gotta bring up the fact that this man's chin is made out of paper or something, bro. How the freak did you get hurt in the first round? And it wasn't like he was just, you know, stunned or whatever. You know, he was hurt. The fight was almost over in the first round. Like, the man was on wobbly legs in the first. I think like the first minute of the fight, he was on wobbly legs. Like the man, you know, he has power and stuff, but he can't take a punch. Oh my god! And this was his first fight at 140. This was Isaac Cruz's first fight at 140, and you got rocked. Like, golly, bro. Dang, like I don't know what's up with his. I mean, he did last for as long as he did, so kudos to him. But bruh, he really does not have a phenomenal chin though, bro. I think what changed the course of the fight, because it was clear as day what the game plan was. The game plan was for Rolly to move so that Isaac can't set his feet to throw power shots, because we all know Isaac is a flat-footed fighter who, you know, who looks to throw nothing but power shots. The man don't throw a jab. So we know what kind of fighter he is. So we knew the game plan was to, you know, move around, make Isaac Cruz use his legs or whatever, and to try to set Isaac up with some power shots of his own or whatever, right? But Rolly was also depending on the clinch as well. And pretty much once the ref was so strict about the clinching, that kind of killed the whole entire game plan, because Rolly couldn't clinch the way how he needed to. Because of that, at that point, I mean, could you get a DQ off of that? Like, if you just holding too much, could you get DQ'd off of that? I don't know if you could get DQ'd off of that. It's not like a low blow, but he did lose a point, and that kind of killed the whole wave of the fight. So, but besides that, I mean, good win on Isaac Cruz. It was definitely, he definitely ran through him. I ain't gonna lie to you. Once Rolly couldn't clinch the way how he needed to, that fight was over, bro. That fight was over. Now, I saved the best for last. I have a lot to say about this fight. The Tszyu and the Sebastian Fundora fight. First things first, this fight shouldn't have lasted as long as it did. I'm going to say that. I did not expect this fight to go 12 rounds. Even Stitch Duran, he said himself, where Tszyu got cut at, it was next to a vein. Either it was next to a vein or it was on the vein. Either way it went, there was no way his corner was able to stop that cut. It's the fact that they allowed this fight to go for as long as it did, bro. I don't get why they never stopped this fight. It was a good win for Fundora, bro. Hey, speaking of Fundora's actually using his height. He's actually jabbing. That could be very dangerous, by the way. He was jabbing Tszyu's head off, bro. He was jabbing Tszyu's head off, bro. See. That was always my problem with Sebastian. He never liked using his height. If that's what he's doing, if that's what he's on, if he's gonna be jabbing, he's gonna be using his height. Oh yeah. It's problems, bro. Who's stopping that? Now, in retrospect, Tszyu was actually adjusting well to Fundora. He actually did a lot better than what I expected him to. At least for like the first 2 rounds, right? Now, when I say better than what I expected, I thought he would have started off cautious, especially coming off of a 10-day notice. The whole game plan has to change, right? But he actually started off very well, actually. Him pretty much taking away his jab, him throwing those straights, which actually broke Fundora's nose, right? He actually did pretty well. What turned the fight around was that cut. If I am Tszyu's corner, I'm giving Tszyu 1 or 2 rounds, because even if you stopped it momentarily in between rounds, look at where the cut is at and look at who you're fighting. The cut is on the left hand side. Fundora is a southpaw. It's only gonna take 2 jabs and it's leaking again. I mean, how could you allow a fighter to fight 12 rounds, blood leaking into his eyes and everything? Like, that's not only could he not see that stings, bro. You smearing it into your eyes, you blinking excessively because they're trying to see. That stings, bro. It was no way. And that actually shows how much of a warrior Tszyu is. For him to have the guts to fight for 12 rounds knowing that he can't see, there's no way you allow your fighter to go out there like that, bro. When I started seeing that he's smearing the blood into his eye like he can't see, he's trying to take the blood out of, I would have stopped the fight right there, bro. Like he can't see. He can't see, bro. The cut is right above his eye. It's gonna keep, and not only that, it's not even the fact that the blood was right above his eye. Look at how much blood he was losing. It wasn't like a Fundora where Fundora is leaking, but it's because his nose is broken. That's to be expected. This is a cut on your head. He's gashed, like he's leaking out of the top of his head. You didn't think to stop it? Look at how much blood he was losing. Like, bro, their trunks was all red. If both of them had white trunks, their trunks would be red. That's how much blood they was losing. Both of their trunks would have looked like fruit punch spilled on it. That's how bad they was leaking, bro. And you allowed this man to fight for 12 rounds straight? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think after 4 rounds, it's a no contest. If something happens, if a mistake happens, I think after 4 rounds, the fight is called a no contest. I would have stopped it as soon as I seen that this blood was spewing out uncontrollably and it was nothing that I could do to stop it. I would have called the fight, because again, it wasn't like Tszyu was going to say no. So if he's not going to say no because he's a warrior, he's gonna go out there and fight regardless. I would have said, you know what, bro, no. What's about to happen is you'll take this no contest and you will rematch this man. That's what's about to happen. I would have done that. If I was Tzયુ's corner, I would have done that. Because Tszyu, he would have stayed champion and he would have been 100% to fight Sebastian the next go round. That is what I would have done if I was his corner. I didn't expect Tszyu to say, oh, I can't see, stop the fight. No. As your corner, you have to look over your boxer, because they're not going to say it. So you have to look at him and you have to gauge it and say, he can't fight, I'm pulling him out. And they failed to do that. But all in all, that was a great fight. That was definitely a blood fest. That was probably the worst fight I've seen in terms of blood just leaking. That was definitely the worst fight I've seen. I mean, I'm only 24, so I'm still pretty young, right? But that was definitely a bloodbath, bro. That was a bloodbath. But if you're new to the channel and you enjoy any of this content, make sure you hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. And if you are new, make sure you hit that red button that says subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. And like always, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.